Now, that was the 14th fatal motorcycle crash this year alone in Minnesota.
And today, Northern News Now's Madison Green spent time with a longtime motorcyclist who's had many close calls out on the open road.
I was at a Harley dealer meeting in my mother's womb in 1954. I was born into this. This is all I've known.
Dennis Kackelmeyer is the second-generation owner of the Harley-Davidson dealership in Hermantown.
The motorcycle is an interesting way to travel because it becomes an extension of your body, unlike a car, so it becomes part of you.
And protecting yourself should be a priority on the road. Kackelmeyer believes proper gear and training are the best ways to stay safe.
You're less visible, you're smaller. A lot of people aren't paying attention in the cars. You have to be comfortable looking out for yourself. Turning the bike and stopping it are the two essential skills.
Jay Bach with the Minnesota Department of Public Safety says there is an equal amount of responsibility on cars to safely share the road.
Sometimes not as maneuverable as people think we are. So giving us the space and the time to be able to react and the yellow light syndrome and all of that, just be patient.
The DPS could not comment on the safety impact of the law allowing motorcyclists to lane filter, meaning drive between two slow-moving or stopped cars, which will go into effect next year. But Kackelmeyer, who has driven in California and Europe where it is already legal, says it is efficient if done correctly.
It eases congestion, and because the area you're riding through is tighter, less room, the way to compensate for that is to slow down.
So feeling free can come without injury. In Duluth, Madison Green, Northern News Now.
Madison, thank you. The Department of Public Safety did not comment on the recent new law's impact on safety, but they did give a statement on the new law in Minnesota. You can read that full statement right now on our website.
Let's take a live look outside this evening. It's been a beautiful Friday across the area. Very comfortable temperatures, but Tony, I noticed clouds are really starting to roll in now at Duluth.
Yeah.